Hey gang, it's JC, and this is your Daily Dose for Wednesday, September 22nd, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. You got Dave Murray's weather forecast down there, archives top of the page, archives at the eye candy right below you, and you can get us on the mobile phone right now as we roll on with our 15-month paid vacation. This is the first day of autumn. Well, not the first full day, tomorrow's the first full day, but it arrives tonight. And you know, everybody's like, I just love autumn. It's my favorite of all the seasons. I'm always like, really? Well, let me ask you this. Would you imagine you'd have much respect for somebody who took all their credit cards and maxed them out and just had a great time, never thinking, well, I might have to pay for this someday? This is how I feel about autumn, because to me, it's just sort of like you just go out and you have a good time because the humidity's down and the temperature's down, but you're not thinking. It's the prelude to, well, I mean, they're closing all the pools, so the fun stops there. Baseball comes to an end, fun stops there. The warm weather is over, the fun stops there. People go from just shorts and t-shirts to like all this bulky, heavy clothing. It starts getting really cold, nobody comes outside, then you get that awful period from Thanksgiving to New Year's where there's so much pressure because of the shopping and the holidays and the whole thing, and this is what fall means to me. Don't trick your brain into thinking fall is good. Fall is bad. Anyway, yeah. Now you got all the leaves turning the color of John Boehner and Snooki. I've been saying this for years. Pretty much every major city that has experienced some sort of urban renewal has done so by building up things on their riverfronts, waterfronts, seasides, whatever the case may be. So St. Louis way behind in that regard. Now they got this plan. These New York guys are going to come in and do a makeover on the Arch. Amphitheater, ice rink, beer garden, bird sanctuary. All right, better than nothing. Paris Hilton denied entry into Japan because of her guilty plea for cocaine possession. However, no one is being denied entry to Paris Hilton, so that's pretty much business as usual. Big money laundering scandal at the Vatican, the former home of Ed Martin. 23 million euros, poof. But you can't say anything, of course, because then the Catholics come down on you and threaten boycotts, and, you know, it's like, tell you what, clean up your own house first before you start pointing the finger at other people. All right, Felipe Lopez. Guy makes it all the way to the major leagues and then can't seem to get to the ballpark on time. He thinks he's playing in a weekend beer league. It's like, Felipe, yeah, he said he's going to be here. We can start with 8. He'll make it by the second or third inning. What's going on? So they said bye-bye to Felipe Lopez. Cardinals, by the way, 8 games out of first, 8 back in the wild card. To paraphrase a line from Jim Carrey's character in Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's still a chance. New study, and this was a big one of these big comprehensive studies, says Americans are now spending half of all their waking hours with media. That's an hour a day over where it was 2 years ago. More time consuming media now by Americans than they spend awake or asleep. I'm sorry, working or sleeping. 33% of all TV viewing now online. A third of all network TV viewing is being done online. We bought all these giant, 50-inch high-definition big screen TVs, and now people want to watch Family Guy, and they're like watching it on a thing this big. I don't get it. DVR viewing up 49% from this time last year. Now, I got to tell you, when I had my babies in the middle 90s, that was VCR land. So you're like watching something and the tape is rolling and you're recording something in the game, or we're first and goal from the 3. Honey, come quickly, the baby is smearing shit all over the walls. And well, now you got to go running. Well, now it's like, what happened? Wait a minute, they scored. How did they score? So now you roll back the tape, but while you're rolling back the tape to look for what you missed and to try to watch it, now you missed the next touchdown. You missed the run back on the kickoff. So DVRs are great. And also, we like American Idol around here, but those results shows are obnoxious. There's like 4 minutes of content, an hour-long show. So you just buzz through everything. And I know people who don't have DVRs. I don't get it. I don't even know how you live without a DVR. And by the way, this survey was taken just a couple of weeks into the generation we now know as the iPad generation. And they're saying there may be like 50 million iPads in use by this time next year. And they're saying that the new iPad, I'm hearing stuff, that it might have one of those reversible camera things, so you can teleconference at least with one other person, and that there also might be a camcorder in the new iPads, and that they might be available by Christmas time, so we'll just see. The CBS show, Shit My Dad Says. Well, you can't say shit on TV. So they came up with that sort of international series of typewriter characters like the pound sign and the star and the X and the exclamation point and the dollar sign. And you put all of those things together. It's like, oh, I get it. It's expletive deleted. So the brain surgeons at CBS said, okay, well, we can't say shit, so we'll just put that symbol of those characters all together, and that will, what my dad says. The problem is people can't search for that on their DVRs and even look for information about it on the internet because nobody can remember that sequence of typewriter characters. So they should have thought of that first. McDonald's. I have sort of a love-hate relationship with McDonald's. They do a lot of good work, especially at Ronald McDonald House. People come in, kids got cancer. You got to come in from the rural areas into St. Louis. Put the kid in the hospital. Well, now, oh, Jesus, we got to get a hotel. We don't have money for this. Ronald McDonald House comes along and says, stay with us while your kid's in the hospital. And then they said, well, the money from every Happy Meal sold is going to go to the Ronald McDonald House. And you're like, well, that's great. Even if you don't like their food, and stuff like that, that's still pretty good work that they're doing. Well, now we hear that that money being generated by the sale of those Happy Meals going to the Ronald McDonald House, 1 cent per Happy Meal. Worst kept secret in show business rolls out today. They're going to stream it online. American Idol is going to formally say, all right, we finally got our contract work out with Jennifer Lopez. Geez, it didn't take that long to make the Magna Carta. Susan Boyle's new album is going to contain a cover of a Lou Reed song. Before you get too excited, it's Perfect Day. Okay? It's not Walk on the Wild Side. Susan Boyle up there going, and she never lost her head, even when she was giving head. I said, hey. No, we're not getting that. Judy Martin is laughing right now. James Gandolfini is driving down the street in Los Angeles the other day, and a cop notices that he is driving and talking on the cell phone. That's illegal in Los Angeles. And so they pull him over, and when they pull him over, they find out he's driving on a suspended license. So they stop him, get him out of the car. They impound the car, and he's got to call somebody to come and pick him up from standing there in the middle of an intersection. I got to tell you, when you can pull Tony Soprano over and take his car away, that is a cop with some big balls, let me just tell you. All right, this story's been around for a while, and it's starting to resurface, so I thought I'd go after it again here. You got a Japanese doctor, a very highly well-respected doctor in Japan. This guy used to deprogram brainwashed terrorists using only music and subliminal messages. This guy is very well thought of, and now he says that women can increase the size of their breasts just by changing the ringtone on a cell phone. What you get is a ringtone that sounds like sort of out-of-tune rock music, but there's a subliminal message, a series of subliminal messages playing while this ringtone is going, and one of the messages is the sound of a baby crying. But, you don't really hear it, but your brain picks it up. Now, what that does in women is it makes the breasts start growing. The messages also tell the body to take the fat and allocate it away from the stomach and butt to give it to the breasts. In the test that he did on the Discovery Channel, a woman listened to the ringtone 20 times a day for 10 days, and her breasts grew 1¼ inches. So, see, women, I'm telling you, you can take those, Apple products and those blackberries and help your melons. And if you're booing right now, I can't say that I blame you. I've been telling you to lose weight, especially women. You're sexist. You're biased against fat people. Well, I'm just trying to help you out. Researchers, George Washington University, Washington, D.C., Eric Mink's alma mater, for heaven's sakes, has found that the average yearly cost of being an obese woman is $4,879. The average cost of being a fat guy is only $2,600. One of the main reasons is difference in salary. Studies have shown that chubby women get paid less than slimmer women, but chubby men don't get paid any less than slimmer men. So being a chubby woman costs you an average of about $1,855 a year in lost wages. A man here in America, whose name hasn't been released, died recently, and he had $8 million in his estate, and he donated it not to his family, but to the Wombat Awareness Organization. He took a trip to Australia, fell in love with wombats. They're marsupials like kangaroos. They carry their little babies in a pouch. And they're short and furry and sort of sad looking, sort of like Carl. And an endangered species. So the guy gives all $8 million to the Wombat Awareness Organization, the WAO. The WAO. And you would think that these people would be happy. And the spokesperson, Bridget Stevens, for the Wombat Awareness Organization, is like, but that's only $1 million a year. We'd have to wait like 10 years for that. All right, we teased this yesterday. 4 things men don't tell women but should. This is from Marie Claire, by the way, magazine. Number 1, men are insecure about dirty talk. They love it, but see what they are, they're afraid. They love hearing it, but they're afraid to say something because, see, guys don't know where that line is. And so the woman is like, you were doing great up until you said this. But then, when you said that shit to me, I couldn't believe it. I'm out of here. Number 2, shower sex is overrated. Yes. It's sort of slippery. The initial run-up to it is fabulous. And then after a couple minutes, it's like, you know what? Let's just dry off and get back to business where we normally are. Number 3, getting too tipsy on a date is a turn-off. Yeah, you want things lubricated a little bit, but not overboard. And number 4, women shouldn't try to be one of the guys. There's something to be said for letting a man go to his man cave and watch the football game by himself. Although I love watching football with Triple C. But she makes good chili, so she gets to stay. All right, the last time Joaquin Phoenix was on David Letterman, he acted like an escapee from a psych ward. Well, now we have learned that it's all part of this mock documentary that Casey Affleck made with Joaquin Phoenix. And Dave was actually in on the joke on that television appearance a couple of months ago. Anyhow, Joaquin Phoenix returning to the scene of the crime tonight on Dave. JC's Video Village, going back to 2001, they gave me the Lifetime Achievement Award, St. Louis Radio Association. And so you're going to see an 8-minute tribute reel where lots of people that you know say suspiciously nice things about me. JC's Wayback Machine is back to 1991. Trey Wingo and Mike Bush doing the run-up live at 5 to a big playoff game at the Old Barn between the Blues and the Blackhawks. Our old school photo is Tracy Lawrence from back in 1990. JC's Eye Candy today is a big thank you to Jack Clark, who helped us raise some money for the United Way out in Washington, Missouri. He's big, by the way. He's a tall guy, and he's got a full head of hair. I hate him. Anyhow, and happy birthday to another guy with a full head of hair, Brian McKenna. Happy birthday, Brian. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, September 22nd, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. I think we're going to have something you're going to like tomorrow, by the way. It's a special date tomorrow, and if I can get away with it, we're going to have something cool for you tomorrow. So come on back. Tell all your friends. We're here at jcontheline.com. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.